Hello friends, just a quick update. It's Thanksgiving here in North America today, in America rather, not North America. Canada has a separate Thanksgiving. Um, so here in America it's Thanksgiving today, and my wife is Greek and I'm South African, so neither of us really celebrate Thanksgiving. But on the upshot, it is a day off work, so we are enjoying this. It's a nice sunny day here. We have the dogs here, and we have a friend of our dogs has come to stay for the weekend. So we've got the whole pack here, and they're having fun outside. So it's actually quite glorious. It's pretty cool, but still a lovely time to enjoy a bit of sunshine, when it's nippy outside. So anyway, I just wanted to show you. I have finished the first of the French units. Now, I'm specifically using the word unit rather than battalion or whatever, because I think what I'm going to end up doing is being a little bit cheeky here and basically make these elastic units. So as they're designed here, let's call them battalia or battalions. Alright, so this is a battalion. These are Pendraken 10mm figures. Let me see if I can drop the camera just a tad more so you can get a slightly better view. There you go. And yeah, finished basing it last night. I'm quite pleased with the way it's come out. As I mentioned in my last video, where I was showing you them work in progress, I was very much going for a very bright palette. So I wanted the miniatures to really pop off their bases, which I feel I've accomplished here. The standard's a particular favorite. My wife liked that. The nice thing about this 10mm stuff is, again, here I've got it zoomed in, but in reality, you're never really going to be staring at them super closely. You're going to be looking at them from a distance, and they look quite effective. Now, the problem with the Franco-Prussian War is that the Prussians wear blue as well, so the hope is that the kepis and I'll try and engineer a slight shift in blue so that they do stand apart from each other, but yeah, I'm quite pleased with how they've turned out, actually. And I ended up going with the 50 by 25mm bases after some discussions with Kevin from the Krauser collection. To his point, as long as things are internally consistent, we'll be fine. So I figure I'll just end up using this enormous stock of bases that I'm never going to use otherwise. So yeah, quite pleased with that. So the next thing I'll do is just crack out another unit of Pendraken Franco-Prussian War French and just do more. That'll be the plan. And then the elasticity piece comes in a sense that depending on the scale of whatever battle or combat I'm trying to model, I can just designate this as either a regiment, in which case it would be 3 battalions, or as then it's like battalion, 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 right? Or I can say, oh, this is a battalion. So you can see how I mean. It's like a sort of a telescopic principle there about scale. I think what I should really do is demonstrate what I mean in a more concrete fashion, but that'll be a video for another day. So that's the Franco-Prussian French. They look really good to my mind. The Pendraken stuff paints up really nicely and very quickly as well, so I'm quite chuffed with that. Then I also finished up these Essex American Civil War sort of standing and loading bases. So these are base for Fire and Fury. One thing I wasn't that aware of is you may notice that if you look here, you'll see how everyone seems to be really tall except for this guy, and in a similar fashion, actually, this fellow looks quite dwarfish compared or dwarfed rather, by the guys around him. These are all Essex figures, but I suspect, again, I don't know this for sure, but I suspect the sculptor may have been a different sculptor, or that there may just be a huge gap in when they were sculpted. But these individual figures here are from a different pack to these ones here, and so these fellas are quite large. So they're clearly sort of your Kansas corn-fed, well, I suppose not Kansas corn-fed, so that's a bit too north. No, Kansas is about south enough. So these are your corn-fed Confederates who are rather large and chunky. These are the only packs I have of the chaps in full rig, so I'm not too fussed. It's a little bit irritating that the scale is inconsistent in the same range, but it is what it is. Anyway, finished those 6 bases up now, so that's that lot done. I've done one as relatively uniform, and then the other one is a bit more raggedy at the back with the sort of floppy hats, just to give a sort of slight shift there and kind of play into the whole notion that the Confederates were the raggedy army compared to the Union. And again, the next move will be to just grab another pack of 8 from the Essex pile and just work my way through them. What I've been doing is in the evenings here, since I have been home, I've been just sort of working my way through the line, so to speak. So I'll do like all the greys, all the blues, you know, all the browns, all the rifle, all the musket stock, sorry, all the hats, all the whatevers, just in a sort of in a fashion. And it's quite dull work, but what I've been doing in the meantime is I've been re-watching, rather re-listening to A Band of Brothers in the background. And then I also went through the Pacific this week as well. Well, week and a half or 2 weeks essentially. So that's been quite pleasant. It's just chilling here in the downstairs. It's quite cold at the moment because it's winter time. But you know, have the heating on down here. Bit of Band of Brothers on. Fantastic show. Watched the Pacific as well, end to end for the first time. So I was quite pleased with the way these all turned out, and it was really no major problem at the end. It was actually quite pleasant because therapeutic is probably the right word. So yeah, there we are. So what else is on the table? Well, since I'm sharing with you now, so let's put these guys to one side. Alright, so let's zoom out a little and then I'll just show you what else is on the table. So as I mentioned, the next move is going to be to get some more Pendrac and 10mm stuff out. I might do a battalion of chasseurs for the French, just a little something different. It'd be fun to do. But I've also got the 6mm stuff that I purchased from Heroics and Ross at Warfare last year. So these are Polish pieces, armor pieces. So you can see there's the 7TP single turret type, the JW model. This is the WZZ34 armored car, and then I've got the this is the twin version of the 7TP, the 7-ton, which I've done there. So you'll notice that I've done round bases for the big men vehicles and squares for everything else. And this is just for I'm basing them for kind of I ain't been shot mum, but again in a similar fashion, which I'll talk about separately again. In the idea of scalability, the principle here is that say this is a tank platoon or squadron, I suppose, rather than platoon. I don't know. I was never in armor really for that long. But if we're playing something at a higher level, we could designate that each of these is a company potentially, right, forming a battalion. One set of rules that I'm quite interested in at the moment, in that sense of looking for a sort of more large scale or higher level command World War II game, is what's it called? Panzer Corps by Manny something or other. It's an Italian name. But anyway, I'll talk more about that on another time. So anyway, got some Polish armor down here. I have, however, realized that I haven't got any reflective green, which is the green tone that forms the base of Polish armor. I do have the other colors, but I'll worry about that later. I just wanted to get the basing done as usual, and then the base coat of black onto the figures, and that's making a start. The 6mm stuff won't take very long. You can also see some early war Germans here, 6mm. There's a painted base which I did a while back, alright, and then I've gone for early war, but what I mean by that is I've given them sort of reed green tunics rather than Feldgrau, just to sort of make them look a little bit more interesting. And then these again are just sort of fire teams or squads, I guess. I've done them on 30 by 30mm bases, so they've got like a spread out sense, and then these are easy enough to just churn through. Again, it's much similar fashion to what I described with the highly uniformed Franco-Prussians and the Civil War stuff. Is you just have them in a line and you start at one end and you go like reed green, then you do trousers, then you do rifles, then you do helmets or skin or whatever. And by the end of an evening, you're done, and you've churned out a ton of infantry that's now ready for the table. So yeah, that's it really. You know, this is my little update for the week, I suppose. Just wanted to touch base with everyone and let them know that, you know, work continues apace. And yeah, to those who celebrate it here in America, happy Thanksgiving. To everyone else, I hope that you're staying warm if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And I'll catch you soon. Take care. Thank you very much for watching, and speak soon.